Today we're chatting with Geoff Puryear, owner of Utopia and a resident of Douglas County, as part of our Rocks Revolutionaries. Welcome, Geoff.
Thanks.
So, if you could, tell us a little bit about your background, maybe why you moved here, when you moved here, and lay out what kind of you do in the community right now.
All right. Well, I moved here when I was 8 years old with my family. We followed my grandparents who moved here just right then. And we lived here in Douglas County for 10 years then. And then I graduated from Roseburg High School. And I lived here for about a year and followed a lot of my friends to leave Roseburg because everybody seems to just explode out of Roseburg when you graduate high school. And so I popped around. I went to different bigger cities and just didn't really fit in. I didn't like the atmosphere. Nobody knew each other. It was very unfriendly. And every time I came back here to Roseburg, it just felt right to be here. Right when I pull into the big intersection on Garden Valley, it's like, I feel safe here, I feel comfortable here. You know, it's, I just felt compelled to move back. So I quit my corporate job and I moved back to Roseburg and started my own business. And it evolved into a nursery and seed business called Utopia. And we're finally in our third year. And we are out on a 10-acre farm now. So we went from backyard to backyard, and now we're in 10 acres of space. So it's really great.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So what made you pursue Utopia?
Well, when I was doing my corporate world kind of deal, I kept feeling a pull to garden. And I didn't have any space. I had a balcony in my apartment. And so I started to fill it up with pots of plants, anything I could get my hands on, some vegetables, some flowers. And after I started getting complaints from the people below us that you're getting water everywhere, I finally just said, okay, this is enough. We need to move out of here. We're not going to live in an apartment forever. We need to pursue the land. And so I took my talents, my creative talents, and tried to make a life doing that while I build this nursery sort of idea. So, I've been keeping that alive through graphic design work and photography, and then I've been using that to build my business and basically be the representation of my business in that. So, it's just been a pull just from the center of my being to be involved with dirt and plants. So I finally have made that happen.
So you seem to be multi-talented. So photography and design, is that something you were trained in or just enjoying?
Well, in high school I did a lot of design work. I was in charge of the Roseburg High School website, and I just honed my skills through just kind of playing with my own portfolio, trying to build something, and using Photoshop, and that's really all been coming together to make a business. So I haven't had to depend on anybody else. So, Utopia is all about the utopia that is the Umpqua Valley, and a lot of it is to do with the plants, because we have a lot of special plants here that people just clamor over in places like England. They pay top dollar for our native weeds that we have here. So it's something that we should embrace and try to, proliferate.
So talk about your involvement with the markets and some of the other things that you've been pursuing.
Well, when we first started with the market, that was the way for Utopia to get mainstream, because we couldn't afford, any sort of real estate. So we were running it out of the backyard, and, I'd never actually been to the market in any recent time before I started. So I kind of just went, I'm just going to go. And I didn't even go beforehand. I just took all my stuff, I joined the market, and I plopped down, and it looks really ridiculous now, that first day, but it gained and gained, and we got more and more professional with our appearance and what we set out, and learned the ins and outs, and started to meet the vendors, the other vendors. It's a big deal with the markets, is that everybody else, because it's a community. And then we got approached by the president of the board for the market to become involved with the board. And so I decided, well, I've got some expertise I can help because we've got places to go with this market and we're not going there. And so I joined the board. I got voted in as a member, and ever since I've been in charge of the marketing and advertising aspect of the board and the market. So everything you see, flyers and all that, that's me with a couple other people, basically making the market better every month.
Yeah, and it seems to have grown.
It really has. We've grown on our Facebook presence. We've gotten over 800 followers since I've started managing the Facebook page, and that really has opened us up to a huge clientele. 40,000 people in the area are on Facebook, so it's a huge deal for us. Free marketing, because this whole thing, the whole market is based on people. Not just the customers, but the people involved. Because without those people, there wouldn't be a market. So I wish I could see more people coming to the market, that more people knowing about the market and what they can get. And that's the whole reason I got involved, is to try to get more people out there. But so far as community involvement, it's that's the most difficult part. This market has been around for 20 years, and I don't think a lot of people have even ever been. Out of, probably 5% of the rosewood population has been to our one market.
So do you think there's anything that the community can do? Because we've been involved with a couple of different organizations just in the beginnings of it, that would not necessarily keep youth in the community, but offer them an invitation to come back and reasons to come back. I mean, as a younger person.
Well, I think it has a lot to do with the economy, of course. So we need more job opportunities that are not necessarily service, because there's a lot of service things, but we need more small businesses that can create that economy of needing talented people to come back here, because it's a very open area for improvement. We can bring the big businesses that decide to start in Eugene or Ashland or Portland. They can come here and do the same thing and get those talented people to come back, for sure.
Yeah, that was one of the platforms, was youth entrepreneurship. And so being a young entrepreneur, what's helped you, aside from just a lot of hard work, to see progress?
It's all been about the support of our customers.
Yeah.
We did struggle for a while because we didn't quite get that. We didn't get that, it's not just enough to do it. You have to involve the people around you. You have to not necessarily look for help, but listen. Listen to what they say, listen to what they buy, listen to what they buy from other people. And when it's come down to it, it's the energy we get, the thank yous, this has done so well for us. It's not like anybody else's product. And that really is what drives us to do better and better and make sure that we know that people are excited for us. And that's what's driven us.
So do you have thoughts or suggestions on direction that the community can go to keep supporting? I mean, what would you like to see in the community that would help support you and others like you doing what?
Well, what I'd like to see is more people that have that in them to help, to reach out to those young people who have a talent, have the drive, but can't get off the ground because there's no financing or they don't have the opportunities available to them, and they may not see, even if they do, they may not be able to see it. And I think there are a lot of people around here that can help, that can just give advice, give time, or even a backyard if that's something they can do. And they can be a mentor. I think mentorship is a huge thing. It's the new sort of apprentice master sort of relationship in the new world, because apprenticeship has died. But I think a lot of people can offer advice and help, even if it's just for an hour out of their time, I think that could be a huge deal. And so if we could get an organization together of mentors, that would be wonderful, I think. I just found a really great mentor. I'm now living in their art studio, and they're giving us a chance with acres worth of space.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that. Talk a little bit about it.
So we're living at 10 Acre Arts, which is an art collective, and they have a full-fledged farm, orchard, and they've leased us out a couple acres of space to do what we do to make Utopia happen. And they are very experienced in what they do, and it's going to be a wonderful experience for us. And it's going to be a community, so we're going to be able to help each other, which is really great.